Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So, Taj Jackson had a live stream today, and I haven't watched it all. I was in there for a little while when he was doing it, and I was posting my Diana Ross is MJ's real mother comment. And so, people just yell at me, and then, I get responses like, people will say, "Oh, she was like a mother to him," or people will say, "Michael was having sex with her." They'll say those comments, and it's like one of those things that they believe those comments to be true. Okay, so to them, those are facts. So they don't believe that they're lying. They're stating things that they believe are to be facts. And so, like Taj Jackson, he doesn't know that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's mom. He doesn't know that. So this dude, he would risk his life if you made a bet with him, okay, if I can prove, you would make a bet with him and say that Michael's not even a Jackson, and he'd be like, I bet everything I own on that, And so it's like one of the things that's like, just because you believe something to be true does not mean it's a fact. So you always have to really look in depth to understand what a fact is. So, first of all, right there, for him to put that title, that headline up there, "Facts don't lie, people do," it's like, okay, well, only an idiot would put that up on their page like that and pronounce, "Facts don't lie, people do." Okay, that's a really, really stupid thing to say. Okay, so now that's a fact. Okay, only an idiot would put that up. Unless they're intentionally smart, and they're trying to portray unless they're trying to talk in idiot language, okay? If they're trying to fool the idiot people and control them and manipulate them. But I don't think Taj is intentionally doing that. Like I said, I don't believe that he knows that Michael's not a Jackson. I don't think he knows that. Like I said, he would bet everything he owns on that, and he would lose that bet, right? But one of the things that what I say is, but I gamble, and I've learned so much about gambling, and with gambling, you put your money on the line, and you're going to find out by the end of the day, you're going to find out if you were right or you were wrong. And there's things that I've thought were the best bets ever and all this stuff. I mean, I've had just so many experiences about doing that. And it's when you got to be careful about what you're actually believing in and stuff. And then when you actually are willing to risk your money on it, that's a good way of testing these theories and stuff, right? So, let's talk about just some facts. So we would say there's a sun. The sun comes up and it warms things up, And so I would say okay, there is a sun and it's warm. That's where we get warmth from the sun, and the light, provides light. So those are facts, right? But now I used to totally laugh at it was, I don't know, maybe over 10 years ago, the first time I heard somebody bring up the discussion about a flat earth, where it was a serious discussion, right? And I just blew it off that's just stupid. Flat earth, what are you talking? Everything that's obviously things are round. The sun's round, the moon is round, and you see the stars way out there, and it looks like we're in a galaxy, and they tell us all these things. I mean, I was totally yeah, for sure. But now it's more recently, I've actually looked into the flat earth stuff, and it's it's interesting. This flat earth stuff's got something, there's something to that shit, right? Just for one thing is that the scientists said that when a ship goes off into the horizon, it's because it's going around the curvature of the earth, and as the ship sails off into the horizon and you can't see it anymore, they said that was because of the curvature of the earth. But the people have debunked that. That's not true. And the scientists were saying that. The scientists were given that as an example. And so that one thing alone, that's no, because you can zoom it right back into, now that if you got a camera with zoom, you can zoom right out there. You can watch it go off out, it's sail off into the distance where you can't see it, but then you hit the zoom on and it comes right out back. And it's well, it's not going off of the curvature. It's just going out of your field of vision and shit, right? There's just something else is going on. So I mean, just things like that. There's that's not facts and shit. So it's just and so it's one of those things. It's boy, if we were not living on a globe planet, if this is actually a flat state, it's that changes everything. That changes the whole fucking story. So you got to be really fucking careful about what you actually understand as a fact. In my life where one of these times where is in the movie JFK. There's a funny line where the guy's talking to the character that's the main character of the story as he's the district attorney of the Orleans Parish Garrison, Jim Garrison, I believe his name is, and that's his real name. But so he says to him, okay, he's talking like in a southern voice and shit, right? He says, how do you know who your father is? 'Cause your mama told you so. And that's like a simple one that's like a much more common reality than anybody ever really knew. That one was like, when he said it in that thing, it's like, yeah, I bet that's a lot more common than what we know. A lot of kids going around thinking that they were raised by this man that was their dad. And they lived their whole life thinking, that's my dad. And it turns out that wasn't your dad the whole fucking time and shit, right? And so that's what's going on with like the Michael Jackson thing. It's just that he was born like to Diana Ross. That's his mom and shit. So let's talk about a fact that's like, I say that the song Billie Jean, that Diana Ross is Billie Jean, and that the song is about Diana Ross informing Michael Jackson that she was his real mother when Michael was 10 years old and living in Diana Ross's house. Okay, so now I would state that as a fact. That is what the song is about, because I've researched it so much. I've got the understanding. That is what the song is about. And now Michael Jackson is supposed to have written the song. Okay, and I know it's all about his life, but when I actually want to talk about a fact, well, the fact could be up in dispute. I don't actually know. He could have been telling somebody the story, and and somebody else there, like a ghostwriter, could have actually put it together in the fashion of rhyming it up and a song thing. Like, I don't believe that. You know, Michael Jackson wrote the song. He is a songwriter and shit, right? But I don't actually know that. That's not a fact. I would probably I'd bet big money on it, okay? But if I lost, it's a kind of thing that I would be able to accept. It's like if you showed me the evidence and I lost, I'd be like, oh, okay, really? I'd be like, wow, there was a ghostwriter. And then that's one of those things where you realize, it's like, boy, I would bet big money on that. You know, I would bet big money that Michael Jackson wrote the song Billie Jean. But when you talk about an actual fact, I can't actually prove that. I would be willing to bet on it. I feel very confident that Michael Jackson wrote the lyrics to Billie Jean. But in reality, I could be wrong. And then that's when you understand it's not 100%. Like I said, in gambling, when you think things are a lock, that's a lock. That's guaranteed. And then you lose and it's like shit. Like one of my best examples is I had the Mike Tyson fight when he bit Evander Holyfield's ear. I didn't know he's going to bite a piece of his fucking ear off. I mean, shit happens and shit. There's crazy things happen. There was a game with the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. They call it the Fail Mary, because at the end of the game, and they were having an umpire strike in football, right? So they were like the umpires that were officiating the game, they weren't real umpires. They weren't NFL umpires. So Seattle throws it, and I needed Green Bay to win the game. And so Seattle throws the Hail Mary. It's the last play of the game. They throw a Hail Mary, and it's intercepted by the Green Bay guy. But as they come down to the ground, the Seattle guy fights for it, and he totally didn't have it. The Green Bay guy had it, but as the Seattle guy totally lost it, but then he wrestled it away. And the rule is that if both people have possession, that the receiver, the offensive team, they get the possession. That's the rule. Okay, so when they hit the ground and then they appear to be fighting for it, and so at the same time, one referee puts up a touchdown sign and the other referee puts up a sign saying interception. And then they reviewed it and stuff, and then they said, well, we're going to keep it with the touchdown because it was in Seattle. You get home court advantage, stuff like that. But so that's known as the Fail Mary play. Okay, that cost me money. You know, I didn't, you know, it's like there's weird things happen. That's how real life goes and shit, right? So Taj Jackson, like I said, he would bet big money that Michael Jackson is actually a blood Jackson, that he would bet big money that Michael Jackson's parents are Catherine Jackson and Joe Jackson. Like, how much money do you think he'd bet on that? A lot, right? And that's why he comes out with this statement, facts don't lie, people do. It's like, dude, you have to understand what a fact is and shit, right? Now, like I said, talking about like the Billie Jean. Okay, so I know what the song Billie Jean's actually about. And so I would bet everything on that. There's no way I would lose. I know what that song is about. It's about Diana Ross's Billie Jean telling Michael that she was his real mother. That's a fact. There's no way I'm wrong about that. There's no way. Okay, I'd bet everything on that, right? But if you ask me about the fact that, can you prove that Michael actually wrote those lyrics, like in that, did he form them in that structure? I couldn't prove that. Now, I think that's true. I would bet big money on it, but if I lost that bet, that's something I could accept and shit, right? So, the other thing is like Diana Ross being Michael Jackson's mother. There's no doubt about that. Like, and I understand what facts are and stuff, and I understand if I could be wrong. There's no way. And I'm right about Smokey Robinson as the father too. I am definitely right. There's no way. That's a fact. That's like the son and shit. It's like there is a son, you know. 2 + 2 is 4. Okay. Michael Jackson's real parents are Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. Those are facts. I've got the evidence. I know the history. I know what's actually going on. Those are facts. Like I said, I understand what real facts are. Where even though I know Michael wrote the song Billie Jean, I could be wrong. I can understand that I could be wrong about that. I could actually be wrong about that. He could have just inspired it, you know, and somebody else actually could have wrote it. That could be possible, even though I don't think it's that way and stuff, but it could be, because it's not actually a known fact to me. I can't prove that. There's not a way for me to prove that. But there is ways for me to prove that Diana Ross is Michael's mom and Smokey Robinson's his father. That is provable. From the research I've done and the investigation and having the knowledge of who Michael Jackson actually is and his actual spirit and the way he speaks, and then understanding Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson, understand the situations of how everything occurred, there's no way I'm wrong about that. So I would bet Taj Jackson, any amount of money he wanted to put up on that. It's like, dude, it's like, I totally sucker him in and be like, dude, Taj Jackson, it's like, you want to make a bet that Michael's parents are Catherine and Joe? You say yes, that Catherine and Joe are Michael's parents? I'll bet you everything. I bet you everything I got and shit, right? And shit. We're talking in the hundreds of thousands of dollars and shit, because I have a house and shit. And so I bet my fucking house. There's no doubt. And I could prove it. And it wouldn't be him, but it's like if we put a panel up, you know, of 5 people, 5 random people and shit, I could prove it to those people. You know, I could actually prove it and shit, right? He would lose that fucking bet, right? So that's just fucking hilarious. So for this man, when he puts up the title, that moniker, Facts Don't Lie, People Do, it's like, dude, facts don't lie. It's like, well, that's because you believe facts that aren't true. There's all kinds of shit that's like one of the things, like in the Leaving Neverland, there's the big thing about where the James Safechuck got busted because he was saying that Michael was having sex with him in the train station, right? Okay, and so that's a fact. That's a fact that for the timeline of what James was saying of when he was being molested, and he was saying that he was being molested in the train station, that the train station wasn't even built at that time. Now, that's a fact, okay? But in a court case, that doesn't matter, because if the kid can prove that he's being sexually molested, right? If they believe that he's being sexually molested, then his frame of mind and his scale of time is going to be warped, okay? So for James Safechuck to say I was being molested in there, it's not a fact that that's a lie. It could be just a misinterpretation. It could be a warping of his brain that occurred because of the psychological and physical trauma that he was going through and shit, right? So when the MJ fans use that, like the train station, like that's a big deal, it's not in a courtroom. And actually, to me, that's something that can prove that he's got damage to his brain, because if he was making these seeing these, if he's seeing himself being molested in the train station, that could show signs of a severe trauma from a kid who's being molested over a long period of time, and it just warped into the reality where he started to think that, oh, I was being molested there. It's like, well, he was molesting me everywhere, and it's like where it could be in his brain that he actually believed. So to him, it was a fact, but in reality, it was proven to be wrong. But like I said, in a court case, that doesn't prove that James Safechuck is lying. It could actually prove that he's telling the truth. See, that's what I'm saying. It's tricky shit. And the people, they think that train station thing is such big evidence and stuff, and it's like, it's a fact. They did a good job. That was a good investigation or research that they dug up. But when you actually want to talk about the reality in a courtroom, does it prove that he's lying? No, it doesn't. It actually could prove that he's telling the truth, that his mind is damaged and warped, and he's seeing things that aren't actually there because he's been so damaged and he was victimized and stuff. So you got to be careful about what you think is an actual fact, and you got to understand of how is it going to play in an actual courtroom when you introduce all this other evidence, and when you've got people saying these other things, those facts can get manipulated really quick. And like I said, the train station, the people that think that Michael, they all think that proves he's innocent. No, it does not. I could use that against him and shit, It's like, be careful. Whatever you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That's what happens. When you go into a court of law, there's different rules. And people are saying they're bringing in different evidence. And that's what these lawyers, they play all these tricky games and shit. It's how can they manipulate the facts to get the jury to perceive the facts of which the way they want them to perceive them to be and shit, right? So that's what I'm saying. This line here, the facts don't lie, people do, it's a really dumbed down, simple line, okay? So for him to be portraying himself as the person he is, and then trying to defend Michael Jackson, when he wasn't there, when all of these things are occurring, there's so many things that he does not actually know. And it's so funny because Taj Jackson doesn't even know that Michael Jackson's real parents are Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. So who is he to put up this moniker about facts don't lie, people do, when he doesn't even know that Michael's not part of his fucking family and shit, right? So that's just what I want to say. It's like, these people are really weak, and it's like, okay, if Taj Jackson, if you were so weak and you had such good evidence, then you would welcome to be able to speak to me and to try and debunk me, but he won't dare. He wouldn't dare fucking speak to me. I'm in there trying to get to him. And I put a comment and I put a link to a really good video, and it got removed. Then I go back and check, and the video, my link, the message, I was like the second comment on this video when he was done with it, and then the comment section came up. I was the second comment in there. I went back an hour later, my comment's gone. And I had a link. I put a link. My comment said to him, it said, I said something like, Taj, you should see what's about to happen to your entire family. And I put a link to the newest video I had up saying proof that it said something. I'd have to look and see what the actual title is. So it's like proof. I said real proof that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's real mother, something like that. It's a video I just made like a week ago. So I put the link to that video because I want him to see. It's like, dude, do you understand that this is the conversation of what I'm bringing? This is the evidence of what I've got. And it's like, he thinks that he wouldn't watch the video because he's just going to assume this is a lie and shit, right? Okay, well, if it's a lie, watch the video and then tell me it's a lie. Go show the world how stupid I am. I dare you. I dare you to frickin' try and watch that video I put the link on and make me look a fool and debunk me. You can't do it. So you're just going to ignore the existence that I exist. And it's like, how are you going to claim to be exposing facts when you're just ignoring the evidence of what I show you? If you won't deal with it, then of course you can claim whatever facts you want to do. But I'm real. I make videos that have got real fucking evidence. And it's not my fault you can't deal with it. I'll deal with anything. Like I'm right here in the Jacksons. I'm going up to the Jacksons saying, oh dude, I dare you. I dare you to challenge the shit I do. Because I'll rip into the stuff that you got. Any stuff about what you claim to be facts and your evidence, I'm more than willing and capable to go at it with you. I'll have a freaking conversation / debate, whatever you fucking want to do. No fucking problem. I go up to everybody. All the biggest Michael Jackson fucking YouTubers, I fucking have tried to challenge them all. Not one of them has ever fucking tried to challenge me because they're fake. They're weak. And it's like all they keep doing is saying, no, you're wrong. And it's like, dude, well then prove me wrong, you fucking loser. Do it. And what happens is they might make a video and try and prove me wrong. I'll use their same exact video and I'll prove it to prove my story. It's fucking hilarious because they're way out of there. They got no clue of what they're up against with me because I'm fucking real. I've got the real fucking evidence to back it up. And like I said, there's no doubt, like what I'm trying to show you is that I have an idea of what the word facts mean and shit, right? There's no doubt in my mind that Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson are Michael Jackson's real parents. No doubt. I have no fucking doubt. That is a fucking fact. And I've got the evidence to back it up. It's not my fault that I've got all the weak fucking people out in the world that can't deal with what evidence actually is. They don't know what evidence actually is and shit, and they're too weak to fucking deal with it when they actually see with it. That's not my fault. How do I overcome that? I don't know. That's a challenge and shit. It's been a fucking tough challenge and shit. How do I don't even get Michael Jackson fans? They'll watch the stupidest fucking Michael Jackson related videos. The stupidest fucking ones. But they've never even commented once on any of my fucking videos. Not once. I got fucking over 100 videos about Michael Jackson, and I can't get a person like Michael Trapson to watch one of them. He's commented on some of the videos I made about him. He did that. But he never commented on any of the videos I made about Michael Jackson, my Billie Jean. How many times has he danced to Billie Jean? He's got a song, Billie Jean and I Dab. He's even fucking stolen that song and remade it for himself and shit, right? But he's never one time has he ever made a comment to any of my research about what the song Billie Jean's actually about. How could he be a Michael Jackson fan and not have at least looked at my work? And that's why I say it's like it's really weird. They're not even, they can't be real fans because they're so fake on the level that they can't even deal with, like, here, well, okay, if I'm wrong, show me how I'm wrong. You got an opinion, go ahead, give me your fucking opinion. Give me your opinion about my work. But they can't do it because they're weak and they're fake. Just like Taj, he ain't gonna fucking deal with my work. He's just gonna block me because he lives under this moniker, facts don't lie, people do. I'm not lying when Diana Ross is calling Michael Jackson her son, when she's saying everything I do is for him and shit. When she's saying that's my child. When she says that he could be part of her family because they got the same bone structure. That's not a lie. I didn't say that. That's Diana Ross saying that shit. You know? But they can't do it. They'll just fucking make some excuse. Oh, she's lying and shit. It's like, well, look at what is she lying about? She's lying saying that Michael's her child. So that's not something I made up. Diana Ross is the one who fucking was doing that shit. So that's all I wanted to say right now is like, when people make these statements, it's like, it shows of how stupid he actually is. And like I said, he's not a Michael Jackson fan. What Taj is he's a fan of being a part of the Jackson family. That's what he's interested in. He don't give a fuck about Michael Jackson. He doesn't care that Michael Jackson died. He just wants to be a part of that family. As long as the family has the name and he gets to be a part of that family, that's all he fucking cares about. So like I'm saying, he doesn't even care about Michael Jackson. He doesn't care about helping Michael Jackson. He cares about being a part of the family and shit. And now he gets to be the good guy as he's going to be the defender of Michael Jackson, you know? But it's like, it's all fake. It's everybody's telling lies and shit. And he just gets to be a part of that fucking play and shit, right? None of them want the actual truth to come out, because they don't care about Michael Jackson. He cares more about being a part of the Jackson family dynasty, right? That's what he cares about. He doesn't care about proving the truth of what Michael Jackson actually is. If he did, he wouldn't have blocked my video. He would have fucking attempted to debunk me, or if he would have at least said, oh, hey, okay, I see that you're a real person out there, that you are actually trying to do a Michael Jackson investigation. He could have at least told me that, right? He could have just said, obviously, I don't believe you and stuff, but he could have, like, and here's like a simple thing, like, it'd be, for me to speak to Diana Ross, that'd be very difficult, right? But he could actually just call Diana Ross and say, hey, Diana Ross, somebody is using this stuff and they're saying that this is you saying that Michael's your son. He could just ask her. How difficult would that be? You know, well, go ask Diana Ross. All you got to do is call her up and fucking ask her. But no, he can't do that. Right? Because, and it's like, if you cared about Michael Jackson, you would watch the video I fucking sent you, and then you would have fucking just said, well, let me call Diana and just relay this to her, that this is occurring, and let me just get her response. Because there's one thing that I don't believe, that if Diana Ross is actually pressed and, like, she might lie to him over the phone, but if she was actually pressed on a place where it's like on video, I don't think Diana Ross would deny that Michael's her child, like on video, to actually deny that that's her child. I think it'd be very, very difficult for her to do that from my understanding of her. If you pressed her with real evidence and you said that I'm saying that you're, and if I came and I said, I know that it's Smokey's the dad, and I know what happened because you were sleeping in Smokey's house because you were friends with his niece Sharon, if I showed her the real evidence and stuff, she would, and then I told her, I know that you're Billie Jean. If I hit her with all those facts, I do not think at that point she could not deny it. If it's true, but it is true and shit, right? There's no way that woman would deny it. She might just walk away and not give an answer, but she would not say the words, Michael's not my child. She wouldn't do that and shit, right? So it's like, okay, Taj, just call her up and see what fucking she says and shit. If you care about Michael Jackson, that means you actually care about who he actually is. If you care about who he actually is, watch the fucking evidence what I give you and just call Diana Ross and ask her. Simple as that. But no, he can't do that and shit, right? You know, because he's got to be the hero and shit. Yeah, you know, it's like, that's why I get to the point, it's like, oh, fuck them. He's a fake fucking fan. Not only is he a fake fucking fan, he doesn't actually even care about Michael Jackson.